This is Phil Heath, 2011. Him at his finest, in my opinion. And Brandon Curry, last year's Olympia winner and last year's version for him. And probably one of his best versions. In my opinion, probably not. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, he gets a lot of bad press. People jump all over him. Oh, he's no good. He doesn't measure up. This and that. But judging by this here front relaxed position, he's a full-grown man, ladies and gentlemen. He's not an underling. He's not a greenhorn, so to speak. Of course, there are some aspects of these physiques, such as the calves, which may be trouble for Brandon Curry. But anyway, no symmetry round because we don't have a rear relaxed position. Front double bicep pose. Brandon Curry has a massive set of guns, a huge set of arms. He's been criticized for putting sight enhancement oil in those arms. I don't know. And neither do you guys. And that's for sure. One thing I do know, the look of Phil Heath's arms are much harder, grainier, better quality. Not to mention those forearms. Phil Heath, probably the best forearms in the game. Anyway, Brandon Curry, a very impressive set of lats. But then when you go down to the basement, the downstairs area, I might even give this one to Phil. Just because of those little calves of Brandon Curry. But still, it is close. I think the conditioning is better for Phil Heath. Front lat spread, and this is funny. That galleries, baby please. The first couple of shots, that is mostly what I'm using for Brandon Curry, and I couldn't get a front lat spread of that gallery. He sits down so low in these. He's already a couple inches shorter than Phil Heath. He's not as big, but he has a wider clavicle. But does that help him when he displays a very narrow set of calves? Almost hurts him in a way. Still, that silhouette is just obliterating Phil Heath. At the end of the day, though, personally, I almost like Phil better here. The muscle separation, the quality. Close in both of the first couple of poses. Turn to the side. Phil, he's a bigger man. He's thicker. He's a lot heavier. But Brandon displays a much smaller waist, very trim. So really, take your pick. I kind of prefer Brandon Curry in this one. Even though, yes, he has small calves, but it doesn't really show up in this pose. And he does have good muscle separation in the leg, I must say. So maybe a slight edge to Brandon. Here's a nice transition. And I'm rapidly becoming a huge fan of this one. I like this in the Christmas tree. It should be a mandatory. Huh? What do you guys think? I think we'll call this the He-ya pose. Turn to the He-ya position, because they're going He-ya, He-ya. So it's the He-ya. So turn to the He-ya, and definitely advantage to Phil Heath. Not in the midsection, not in the chest, really, but in that tricep. And I think the He-ya is to display the tricep and the chest, of course. This is to display the tricep and Phil Heath. He's the man. Look at the tricep. I've seen it more striated, though. Again, Brandon Curry gets some criticism for putting sight enhancement oil in his tricep. I don't know. I definitely have no proof of that. I don't see any injection holes. Do you guys? Either way, Phil is getting a point in the side tricep, but Brandon got the side chest. It's a fairly close matchup, guys. A lot closer than I had anticipated, but at the first sight of the back developments here in the rear lat spread pose, this is all she wrote. Phil Heath, from the calves to the muscle separation in the hamstrings, to the rock-hard glutes, lower back, lower lat insertions, everything. And the hard graininess, Phil Heath, no doubt, taking this one, and I can't bite my tongue any longer, guys. I was watching another YouTube channel. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to be that greasy. But it has to be called out. I seen a match between these two versions. Like I said, I'm not going to name names. But go ahead. If you want to find it, find it. He gave this one to the Brendan Curry. This pose. I mean, I've made some bad calls in my day. But this is a total blowout. The soft, washed out glutes of Brendan Curry. The lower back, the Christmas tree area, looks soft to the touch. Those calves, I am surprised he can even hold himself up. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is a blowout. Anyway, it just affected me personally to see somebody abuse their power by giving this one to Brendan Curry with no explanation. Anyway, rear double bicep, basically the same story. Brendan's got some good width, good trap size. I mean, good for a Saturday morning cartoon. But this is serious business. This is glute separation. This is hamstring separation. This is calves. This is judges looking at this and not even looking at it. It's a quick glimpse and okay, this is a Phil Heath pose. Next pose, please. And I'll be criticized for using this ab and thigh for Brendan Curry. But in this gallery, this is as good as it gets. There was the other gallery, the one that I was forced to use the front lat spread. But I figured he should be called out on this. He came in smooth and watery here. Brendan Curry did. He definitely dried out for the next gallery, but still, Phil Heath, not the genetically superior man in this. Actually, on the contrary, Brendan Curry, he could destroy Phil Heath in this pose. He has the superior set of abs. But in this pose, it's conditioning. It's the size of the legs as well. Little calves. Anyway, Phil actually gets the ab and thigh pose. I like this most muscular for Brendan Curry. He leans down and he leans forward, creates some size, and he has a pretty wide clavicle, a wider one than Phil Heath. Phil might have bigger delts, but that clavicle width, definitely going to Brendan Curry. And you see what I mean about the abs here. He is actually displaying them. Smaller legs. He's always going to have smaller legs than Phil Heath. This crab position, this is what I mean. Look at the size of the clavicle width of Brendan Curry. But he doesn't have the delt size. So Phil is more of a solid-looking package, if you know what I mean. Bigger arms for Phil. But it's a close one till you look at the calf. You see that? When it's that small, yes, it makes a huge difference. Makes a difference to me, anyway. So, Phil Heath, 2011. He had a little bit of trouble, I think, in the front poses, side shot, but nothing doing, especially in that back pose. Phil Heath gets the win, no doubt. And I apologize. I got a little bit negative towards that rear lat spread. I like to always keep a positive edge. But, like I said, somebody abuses their power. And at the end of the day, hey, if they get more clicks, then they get more clicks. Sometimes any publicity is good publicity. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hit thumbs up if you did. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And follow me on Instagram. I know I do that little spiel every time. For Malinge, everybody. Namaskar.